Arsenal. Emirates has adorned Arsenal's shirts since 2006, a deal that also covers the naming rights to their stadium and remains one of the most recognizable sponsorships in global sport. Worth well over £40 million a year at various renewal points, it has outlasted managers and entire eras of the club's fortunes. Since the Emirates name appears not just on the shirt but on the very ground Arsenal call home, tying the airline's identity permanently to the club's modern history. Aston Villa. Bottano's arrival in 2024 marked a record moment for Villa, a two-year agreement worth £20 million annually that the club themselves confirmed as the biggest shirt deal in their history. It more than doubled the value of their previous sponsor, reflecting Villa's rapid rise back toward the Premier League's upper tier. Though the partnership wound down as gambling sponsors were phased out of English football, it stood for 2 seasons as proof of how far Villa's commercial standing had climbed. Bournemouth. Vitality expanded its long-running stadium partnership onto the shirt itself ahead of the 2026-27 season, turning an already deep relationship into the most valuable sponsorship arrangement the Cherries have ever held. The insurer has backed Bournemouth since 2015 through naming rights at Vitality Stadium, and the move onto the shirt reflects genuine brand alignment around health and wellness. Brentford. Hollywood Bets became Brentford's principal partner following their promotion in 2021, growing over several seasons into what remained the most lucrative sponsorship the newly established Premier League club had ever signed. Arriving just as Brentford reached the top flight for the first time since the 1940s, the deal symbolized the financial leap that came with promotion itself. It later proved controversial given the club's association with gambling advertising, but commercially it stood as the clearest high point above anything the Bees had carried in the championship. Brighton. American Express has backed Brighton since 2013, and when the partnership was extended for a further 12 years in 2019, it was reported to be worth more than £100 million in total, an extraordinary figure for a club of Brighton's traditional size. The deal covers not just the shirt, but stadium naming rights and training wear, embedding the brand into nearly every visible part of the club's identity.
Chelsea, the Yokohama Rubber Company, signed on in 2015 in a 5-year deal reported at £40 million per season, which Chelsea described as their largest ever commercial agreement, and at the time, the second richest shirt sponsorship in Premier League history. It replaced Samsung, whose decade-long partnership had itself been substantial, but nowhere near Yokohama's numbers. The tire manufacturer's logo became synonymous with Chelsea's Premier League and Europa League triumphs during its 5-year run. Coventry City Monzo's shirt partnership, renewed into its 3rd season, gave the Sky Blues their most prominent modern sponsor and marked the digital bank's first ever exposure inside the Premier League following Coventry's promotion. It carries extra historical weight too, since Coventry were the first English club to ever wear a shirt sponsor, partnering with Talbot cars back in the 1970s and effectively inventing the concept for English football. Crystal Palace NET 88 signed a 2-year agreement with Palace that was described at the time as a record-breaking deal for the club, even though the Vietnamese gambling firm arrived with almost no public profile in England. Financially, it surpassed every previous Palace sponsor, including earlier deals with ManBetX and W88. It illustrated a pattern seen across several mid-table clubs where overseas betting operators paid a premium for Premier League exposure before regulatory changes eventually pushed them off shirt fronts entirely. Everton, Castora's shirt partnership, confirmed a few years ago, reportedly earns Everton around £20 million annually, a significant jump from the £8 million they previously received under Hummel. The timing mattered too, arriving as the club prepared for a new stadium and needed commercial deals that matched their ambitions beyond Goodison Park's modest matchday revenues. Fulham ClickHouse, a Silicon Valley data technology company valued at $15 billion, became Fulham's front-of-shirt partner ahead of the 2026-27 season. Known for powering data infrastructure at biggest AI companies, ClickHouse gives Fulham a sponsor whose global backing dwarfs most previous partners the Cottagers have carried on their shirts.
Hull City Corendon Airlines continued as Hull's principal shirt sponsor into a new 3-year agreement timed with the club's return to the Premier League, representing the most substantial sponsorship Hull have secured in the modern era. Promotion transformed the value of that partnership overnight, since top-flight exposure carries an entirely different commercial weight than anything available in the Championship. Ipswich Town. Halo, a fast-growing Suffolk-based service management company from Stowmarket, became Ipswich's front-of-shirt sponsor from the 2025-26 season in what chairman Mark Ashton himself called the biggest sponsorship deal in the club's history. Halo had already built a relationship with Ipswich as sleeve sponsor before stepping up to replace Ed Sheeran. It stands as a modern rival to the club's storied Pioneer and Fison's years, proof that Ipswich's commercial ambitions have grown right alongside the team. Leeds United. Red Bull's 2024 sponsorship, tied to a minority stake the energy drink company took in the club, was reported to be worth more than £12 million a year, over double what previous sponsor SB Otop had been paying. Following the iconic Strongbow years of the 1990s and 2000s, Red Bull represents an entirely different kind of partnership, blending marketing muscle with genuine ownership influence. Liverpool. Standard Chartered has occupied Liverpool's shirt since 2010, evolving into a partnership worth over £50 million annually and one of the longest continuous sponsorships among Europe's elite clubs. The bank stuck with Liverpool through lean years under Roy Hodgson and through the euphoric title win of 2020, giving the deal a rare sense of loyalty. Renewed multiple times, the partnership has become a quiet fixture of Anfield life. Manchester United. When Chevrolet arrived on Old Trafford's shirts in 2014, the deal was worth roughly £64 million a season, making it the largest shirt sponsorship in the club's history. General Motors used the partnership to push the Chevrolet name into markets where the brand barely registered. Even years later, the 7-year Chevrolet run remains the benchmark against every subsequent United shirt deal. Manchester City. Etihad Airways has anchored City's shirt since 2009, and when the partnership was extended in 2019, it was reported to be worth around £67.5 million a season, making it comfortably the biggest shirt deal the club has ever signed. What began as a modest regional airline partnership expanded into stadium naming rights and academy branding along the way. Newcastle United. Knox Hydrate signed a 3-year agreement worth up to £80 million beginning in the 2026-27 season, eclipsing the club's previous deal with Sela and becoming the biggest shirt sponsorship Newcastle have ever agreed. It reflects how dramatically Newcastle's commercial profile has grown since the 2021 takeover, turning a club that once struggled to attract major sponsors into one negotiating deals that rival the traditional giants. Nottingham Forest. Bally's became Forest's shirt sponsor following their return to the Premier League, representing the biggest commercial partnership. The American gambling company's arrival coincided with Forest re-establishing themselves among England's top clubs after decades away. Owner Evangelos Marinakis pushed hard on commercial growth since taking charge, and the Bally's deal stood as the clearest financial evidence that the strategy was working. Sunderland. W88 became Sunderland's shirt sponsor as the club returned to the Premier League, agreeing what stood as their most valuable commercial deal in years. It marked a symbolic moment for supporters who remembered the club's darkest championship years, proof that Sunderland's commercial fortunes were finally climbing again. Tottenham Hotspur. AIA has sponsored Spurs since 2019, a Hong Kong-based insurance giant whose deal was reported to be worth around £40 million annually, making it comfortably the club's biggest shirt partnership to date. The agreement arrived just as Tottenham opened their new stadium, giving AIA prime visibility during the most ambitious infrastructural period in the club's history.